Oh man, my apologies for the lateness of this video, but it's Thanksgiving, y'all. And I hope it was as awesome for y'all out there as it was here at our house. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get into today's video. Hey there, everyone. Thank y'all for tuning in again on this frigid but beautiful Saturday. This is Super Saturday, the show where we discuss all things super and awesome. And like so many Saturdays before, today's subject is a little bit of both. Yes, sir. You might say it straddles both worlds quite well. For today, we are diving into Batman versus the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
What is it? It had better be good.
It's beautiful.
What you think something like that costs?
My soul, probably, since I'd pay that.
Whoa!
Released March 31st of 2019 at WonderCon Anaheim, and then later via the direct-to-video market on May 14th of that same year, Batman vs. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Hereinafter, TMNT, was one of the posthumous projects produced by longtime DC figure Benjamin Melniker. Melniker, you may recall, had been a producer on DC films since '85 when he helped out with Swamp Thing, then later in '89 with The Return of the Swamp Thing, and the flick that would start his investment into the Batman universe with Tim Burton's runaway hit film. We don't need to tread over the ground paved by Burton's Batman film here. I'm sure everyone watching remembers what a cultural phenomenon that flick was. Melniker would go on to help produce somewhere close to 50 films involving the Cape Crusaders. So intertwined was the man with the franchise. These included the Burton films, the Nolan films, animated classics like Mask of the Phantasm, as well as many others, and even into the Lego and Scooby-Doo crossovers. Melniker passed on February 26th of 2018 at the venerable age of 104. May we all live so long. Anyway, enough about the behind the scenes fluff. Let's dive into the details. Batman vs. TMNT was based off the comic series by James Tynion IV and Freddie Williams II. The story centers on the Bat family, specifically Bruce Wayne, Damian Wayne as Robin, and Barbara Gordon's Batgirl, teaming up with the Turtles as they try to save Gotham from an epic team up between Shredder and Ra's al Ghul. The stakes are perfectly matched as neither set of heroes could take both villains at the same time, illustrating a perfect and natural reason for the team up. No forced subplots or weird coincidences here, no sir. The writing is not only solid, but also super entertaining, interjecting the fast paced, wonderfully rendered action with tons of gut busting jokes and hilarity. The film strikes a perfect chord between giving the story the respect it deserves to draw in the audience, but also diving deep into the obvious jokes and situations you would expect from both Turtles and crossover Batfam. In particular, Michelangelo handles his usual hilarious commentation of the situations they're in, but really Damian Wayne was the breakout humor star for me as I've lived through several iterations of Robins throughout the years. I wasn't initially all that intrigued by yet another, but this film really has Damian standing out as his own unique and very enjoyable personality. Troy Baker steps in to voice both Bruce Wayne, Batman, and the Joker, pulling off an excellent imitation of Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill. Eric Bauza, Darren Criss, Baron Vaughn, and Kyle Mooney voice the Turtles, while Ben Giro and Rachel Bloom take up the Bat Fam members. The supporting cast fills in many of the vital figures from both worlds with Alfred and Jim Gordon, but also pulling extensively from Batman's rogues gallery with Scarecrow, Penguin, Harley Quinn, Joker, Poison Ivy, Mr. Freeze, Bane, and Two-Face, not to mention the League of Assassins. Sadly omitted are TMNT regulars such as Master Splinter, April O'Neil, Casey Jones, and Krang, but you don't really miss them. The cast is already jam-packed with so many personalities, all wonderfully represented. Again, you don't really need to fill out the fluff that much more. Only Shredder and Dr. Baxter Stockman come over from the Turtles world. However, it is important to note that there may be mutant goo transformations of various characters throughout this film, creating a true crossover feel to the event that is absolutely fantastic for any fan of both worlds. There's one character in particular that transformed that I was just like, oh my god, why can't we have this in the real world? As a collaboration between Warner Brothers Animation and Nickelodeon, one would think they would do the normal thing and just say multiverse. But they did not do that. Instead, they take the time honored position that all things exist in the same world and just run with it like Scooby Doo. And judging by the rave feedback online for the film, I'd say that was the right call to make. Earning over 600,000 on DVDs alone with another 2.2 million in Blu-ray sales, the film has raked in a solid 3.3 million so far. It may be obscure, but those who know of it love it, and I'm tickled to see so many physical media sales. Like I always say, get your physical media. This digital stuff is for the birds. Anyhow, complementing the existing DCAU animation style, there were concerns out there. People worrying about, well, will this work for TMNT? And the answer is a resounding yes. It really blends very, very well, holding true to both aesthetics. This film absolutely feels like a kid dumped out all his action figures and started smashing TMNT into the Bat universe. That is exactly the feel they shot for, and they nailed it. Of course, this was all handled with the superb writing of an adult mind, an adult that clearly was a fan of Two Worlds as well. You don't need a deep understanding of either world either to enjoy this, making this an excellent get to know them entry level film. So if you're curious about it at all, you should absolutely check it out. I myself was exposed to it via a suggested clip on YouTube. I was scrolling around, watching some fight scenes, some cartoons, and the Batman versus Shredder scene was suggested. And let me tell you, as a one-time fighter, I really got into this fight. It was visceral. It felt accurate and real. With many cartoons, it's customary to have folks, smash into each other. Some stuff happens, and the fight goes however the writer intends. But this felt like someone who actually knew fighting wrote it. I was deeply impressed. It was awesome. And not only did it feel real world accurate, it also had some really cool comic book moments. Batman using his arm barb thingies just like Shredder. We had these pseudo magic moments with smoke and ultra mega chi strikes and all kinds of stuff. Further, I was deeply impressed with how both characters were treated with respect. Neither had a clear advantage, and the fight ends as a stalemate, and that was deeply respectful to me, throwing out personal bias, showing both fighters as being top of their game, unable to get a leg up over the other, and ending beaten, bloody, and gasping for breath. It's the classic Rocky versus Apollo Creed, which we just watched as our home's Thanksgiving tradition, and I love it. Also, something to love is that a physical copy of it is easy as pie to get a hold of. DVD and Blu ray copies abound for next to nothing, and the movie itself is streaming on a number of platforms, including Amazon, if you want to try before you buy. But I strongly recommend buying. This is a movie that is worth owning, as you will invariably want to watch it again and again. And there you have it, folks. The Warner Brothers Nickelodeon collaboration we didn't know we needed, but we absolutely did. Batman versus the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Try a copy of it today. And if you don't try that one out, pop in a cartoon anyway. Keep the tradition alive. While you're at it, bust out a good movie, read a comic, maybe gather around the table, roll some dice with a TTRPG of your choice. The missus and I intend to do just that. But make sure you drink a little water and maybe get a little exercise to work off that Thanksgiving dinner. But anyway, folks, as always, have a good one.